say good morning, but I don't publish my videos in the morning, so it's kind of a silly saying for me, but it technically is morning. I am not even dressed yet. Came out, and I'm gonna take some scraps that I put in one of Nolan's old Easter baskets. Some scraps up, things that like I won't feed to the animals, like the chickens, like banana peels, and then there's just a few things in here, just a couple scraps anyways. I'm gonna take them up to my compost spot and then kind of stir it up a little bit. I've not done that in a little while. I'm gonna be fixing it better. I really want to fix a spot for it. Recently, what? Hello. Recently, I think I had one extra load of goat hay one day. It's been a little while ago, and I just put it out here in the woods. You're not allowed to come outside if you don't give the goats treats. So I'm gonna go out here. Anyways, what was I saying? I just dumped it up here, like away from the fence, because John likes to mow around the fence, and we plan on fixing the fence better. We thought it would be pretty soon, but probably not going to be soon now, because we're going to just wait for the perfect opportunity for that. He's wanting to go around the entire back of the fence with some metal. The back of our yard is woods, as you can see here. And a couple of months ago, we had a little scare with something blew out of our burn pile and caught a little bit of our woods on fire, and it was very scary for a minute. Thankfully, we was home. We got it under control. Hope she's not back there using the bathroom, because that's not cute. And some neighbors seen it and come down and helped me and John get it out. I didn't share that just for whatever reason, but yeah, it was scary. We're thankful for the neighbors. We're so thankful that we ended up being home, because the fire was out when it happened, but it was just smoking a little bit. The wind picked up, it caught it back on fire, box flew out, and it was just minutes it happened, and it could have been a disaster. And our woods leads back, and there's houses. Like there's one up here on the hill, and there's one down here on the hill. You couldn't see my arm because it wasn't in the frame, but there's one up here and there's one back here. So, and the way it would have went toward them people's houses. So that really got us thinking about stuff, and John decided for many reasons, it would help with like animals. Not that animals can come in our back anymore, because we did fence in because of animals coming into our yard. But it would help with that. If we did happen to have another fire, it could help it to not, get out of our land. Losing something of our own is, it's bad enough, but causing somebody else to lose something is a whole nother level of something that, we don't want to cross over. So we was thinking about doing that for multiple reasons, but the main thing was, in case something does happen. We do have a burn spot in our yard, and it's just, it's something that we might as well say we have to have. It's just more, it makes sense with John's business and the amount of stuff that we do around the house. Anyways, I don't have a clue why I shared that whole thing. Oh, because I wanted to put the compost pile like right here, right by the fence, so it wasn't like in the yard. The goats are really mad that they didn't get a treat, and I walked past him and made eye contact. However, I've just got it right here. It's not really a compost pile at the moment. It's just a little bit of this, a little bit of that pile. This is what we're working with. I don't really have a clue what I'm doing, and I'm not putting much thought into it. I'm just letting it be, pretty much. But it's right here by this tree. Like I said, I wanted to put it by the fence, but I couldn't do that because of future plans, and John likes to keep it mowed. It doesn't look like it right now, but John likes to mow down in the woods and stuff. So I thought I'd just drop it here by this tree. The good thing about it is it's easy to move. If we decide we don't want it here, or I do fix a better permanent spot for it, we can use the wheelbarrow and shovel it, or John can use the skid steer, which is less work, so I approve of that. But for now, I've just got a little pile of junk back here, and I just add to it whatever and whatnot, and I mix it up, and I don't go all into the needs more greens and browns and whatever. I just put it out here. One time, I think it was last fall, I dumped a load of just the goat hay out in the woods. No, actually John dumped it, but anyways, that doesn't matter. And it ended up making like a soil type of material. I did use it in the garden bed. And so that's what made me really just decide to just throw something together. I think composting is like most things when it comes to gardening and whatnot. People overcomplicate it, and it's like with chickens and goats. I was so worried jumping into it that something would go wrong, and things have went a little bit wrong with that. But I just thought it was going to be one disaster right after another, you know, one worry right after another. And it's just a lot of times I think people trying to prepare you for the bad, but it's not as bad as it seems. Anyways, I want to get this dumped in here, get it mixed up a little bit, and then we're going to walk up and look in the garden for a minute. I mean, it's got mushrooms growing in it. That counts for something, right? So yes. Okay, so I'm hot now. I was starting the day very lazily. So, you know, that just means sitting on the couch, catching up on some friends on YouTube, and drinking my coffee. I started editing a video just a little bit as well. Spot where Jonathan's car was parked, because we had it back here. Still kind of brown, and passing by it makes me think of my baby, especially since the car's not here no more to look at it and think of him. Anyways, I'll come back for that. I'm hot. I've still got on my robe, and I've got on my chicken boots because I can't stand wet feet. I cannot stand walking in grass that's wet. It's just like, I don't know. There's just something about it. It makes me angry, makes me irritable. So I'll look like this currently. Beautiful. Anyways, we're gonna check out the garden. I like to, oh, I forgot about that. I made potassium water and I left the banana peels up here. My bad. But I like to come out early in the morning. One, it's just so peaceful out here when the goats aren't screaming, but they add to it. But I like to come out here and just walk around, check everything out, make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. Kind of take note of what I need to do that day, if I need to weed or whatever. Y'all know that I'm not a good weeder. The only thing that we really have to control the weeds in, though, is the strawberry bed's hopeless. I don't even try with the strawberry bed, but the cucumber bed, it gets pretty weedy because it is directly on the ground. The other one's closest having the time of her life. And the potato bed, this one right here, it gets weedy as well. But the two new beds and then the little square pots, planters, they don't really get weedy. You'll just every once in a while get something in there, you know what it is, and pluck it out. But anyways, I just like to do a little round, see what I need to do that day, get it done, or just make a note to come back and get it done later. I just really enjoy being up here, and it is the peak season. Stuff is starting to pop up, and it's just, this is my happy place. I really like it. I didn't expect to be this happy with the garden this year. I mentioned a couple of months ago, I guess, whenever we first started, you know, thinking about the garden, that slowly build up to the garden that I love. And I'm really happy that I love the garden I have this year. I mean, she's going 100 miles an hour. Slowly we'll be adding to it, and it'll get bigger and better every year. Excuse me. But I didn't expect to be as satisfied with it as I am this year. Now, is it as big as I wish it was this year? Definitely not, but we're making stuff work. Like, we got watermelons in a tire that I'm gonna, you know, let just vine out into the yard. I've got baby pumpkins, the little white ones. Lily got one at the pumpkin patch years ago, and once it lived over a year, and then once it died, we saved the seeds from that. So if you've seen it in a video, it says Blinky babies. That's because she named her pumpkin Blinky, and so I just put Blinky babies because I don't know what it was. We're gonna plant some actual, like, growing pumpkin. Obviously, I'm like jack-o'-lantern type pumpkins. I'm not exactly sure where we're supposed to do that at. So I'm gonna have to talk to John about that. We don't like to move stuff out too much in the yard, because he does drive the truck around, and trailers and the skid steer and all of that so much back here. We're going to be taking out our fruit trees that's up here, just because the yield from them, which is pretty much nothing, is not worth the space that they take up. So we're going to take them out, move, you know, grow our garden that way. We'll keep it right here, but we're going to grow it on that way. I think we have a few different plans for that area, so who knows. But as of right now, we're going to grow the garden that way, and that way we can have just a much bigger garden. And then we're going to plant a couple of fruit trees in the front yard once we are completely done. We thought we was done in the front yard, but we're having some issues with one of our septic lines, so we have to have somebody come and fix that eventually. And then once they fix that, maybe we can plant some trees. So yeah, it's always something, right? It's always something. Anyways, I'm very talkative this morning for whatever reason. I'm just gonna do a quick once over in the garden, and then I gotta make bread today. Yesterday I made a whole bunch of stuff. I just got in the kitchen and just relaxed and enjoyed my time in there. I didn't record just because it was kind of a self-care kind of thing, I think. I really enjoy, I think she busted that ball. She did, little heathen. I just enjoy cooking sometimes, and just that's my relaxation, and getting the camera out adds a whole nother level to it. But anyways, we're gonna make our sandwich bread today, and then tonight we're gonna grill. We was going to grill last night, but John worked later than he had been, and he came home feeling really bad. He used a drill for a long time yesterday, and the motor of it puts something out and it makes him sick. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And so he came home, he wasn't feeling that great, so I ended up just making smash burgers. That was delicious anyways. But tonight we're gonna grill chicken kebabs and steak kebabs. But I think we're gonna do that. I think I might have also decided to do something else. Anyways, we'll figure out dinner when we get there. I'm gonna go ahead and do my walk around. I'll show you the garden just a little bit, and then go ahead and start bread, and then we'll see where the day takes us, I guess. Hopefully it takes us to some clothes pretty soon, because, you know. All right, so we got a whole potter here full of goodness gracious, tomatoes, which are wet, and they won't like that. They won't be happy with that. I need to transplant some of these. John told me I could just find some whatever and put them wherever, because obviously, you know, this is too much. I just have a really hard time with plucking out plants and just trashing them. I just have such a hard time doing it. I think, what if the one I picked is the one that's going to live and the other ones die, and then I end up with nothing? FOMO gardener's edition, I guess, but I really need to do that pretty soon. We might need to try to figure that out today. John told me I could just put them in buckets or anything, but buckets are ugly. But you do what you got to do. So we need to do that probably today, because the root system is going to be getting too big and damage them and whatnot. So we're going to add that to our to-do list for the day. These are our purple peas. I'm excited about these. We have only ever grew sugar snap peas. But our favorite, like, frozen vegetable is carrots and peas. So I figured if I could get the carrots to grow, which I'm going to plant some more of those today too. So that's another thing for the list. If I could get these peas to grow and the carrots to grow, I could do my own frozen carrots and peas mixtures, and I'm excited about that. So I'm hoping that these do good. I've never grew any kind of pea other than sugar snap. Like I said, these are King Tut purples, so we got a lot of those going. And then I don't have a clue what this is. It's some sort of flower, I think, pretty sure. And I don't know what it is. I planted them, and then my thing is, I'll be like, oh, I'll remember. And then I don't. So I don't know what those are. It's some sort of flower. This is some cucamelons, because I went crazy with those, as well as my orange hat tomatoes. But these aren't doing great. I'll show you the ones that are doing the best of them. And our potatoes, which are getting ready to start blooming. And then lettuce, which I pulled 2 of these yesterday and stored them in the refrigerator. If you leave the roots, they will continue growing, but I didn't want them to continue growing here, so I just went ahead and pulled up the roots for those. And then this is another lettuce bed that I've actually pulled up 2 or 3 heads, you know, full heads, to kind of thin them out, because we've got peas in it. No, what are these? Long beans in here, but the lettuce is kind of taking over it. So I have been trying to thin out the lettuce in here as well. It's not working too well. Might need to harvest some more of that. And the corn, it looks like I need to come in here and weed this bed, because it's getting some stuff in here around the edges and whatnot that don't belong. We'll do that later when we, you know, actually have one clothes to be out in the garden in. And this is chamomile. I think all of this is chamomile. maybe. I think so. Yeah. And this is our lemon balm, and then I don't know what that is, chives down there at the bottom. These are slow growing. I don't know if I always do my herbs too deep or if they just take longer to start. I don't know, but my herbs always are slower to start. This is my disgusting banana peel from my potassium water that I put on the tomatoes yesterday. And then this, oh, there's something been in here. Look at that. Something was digging in here. That's a first. It was digging over here too. I bet it's I put eggs in the bottom, and people say that it, you know, attracts rodents. I bet that's what it was. So we'll have to try to keep an eye on that and make sure that stuff isn't messing with my babies here. And this is my tomatoes. Like I said, I can't get rid of stuff. So if I notice that they're getting to be too much, I'll make the cuts as I need to. These are marigolds. It's marigolds and tomatoes in this bed. If you look, it's not this one. Some of them are already starting to flower, and Wendy's guess is that those are cherry tomatoes. So we'll see. We'll see if her prediction is correct. I don't know which ones are starting to flower. We noticed it anyways. They're really wet, very dewy. So that's the tomato bed and marigold bed. And this is our squash. I made a boo-boo. This one was over here, and I didn't want it over here, so I moved it here. And when I picked it up, I heard the roots snapping, even though I went really far around it. What's done is done, but I regretted it very quickly. A lot of the leaves died after I did that, but you know, it still looked good in the middle, so I saved it, but I really stunted it by doing that. Don't move stuff, kids. Leave it, even if it's not straight or how you want it. Don't move it. So yeah, I stunted this one's growth, and then this one was like super small. It took forever for it to start. And then this one is coming along. This one, however, is doing really good. I think this one was a little bit bigger than that one, but then I moved it and almost killed it. Don't move stuff. So it's fine. I'm going to plant some carrots down the sides here, and then we've got carrots over in the carrots over here in the strawberry bed too. But the strawberry bed, it is so bad when you're trying to get the grass and stuff out that you accidentally get carrots too. So you have to decide if you want to leave the weeds or pick the carrots that's not ready to be picked. So don't like that idea. Which we're getting rid of this. We're getting rid of this bed next year. The wood beds that we made many years ago, they will be gone and will be replaced with some of these metal beds. And then this is our peppers. And this is a problem. I planted 2 rows of sweet peppers, and then I planted just a few of the habanadas and jalapeno's, which are the not spicy peppers. However, I planted 4 of each, and we got all kinds of stuff coming up here. So that's going to be fun trying to decipher what is what. And then this is our probably overpopulated broccoli bed, but y'all know, you know me, I can't do it. So we will fix it as the problems arise. That's what we're saying about that. This is more of my herbs. I know that this is cinnamon basil, microgreens, don't have a clue. And then this says on it what it is. This is a dill, and then whatever. It's slowly, but not really, coming along. And then this is one of them orange hat tomatoes. I overgrew these as well, but they're going to be so cute if they do good. So only one of those there. And then this is my better looking cucamelons. Ma'am, it is not swimming weather. Anyways, this is the better looking cucamelons. I had cucamelons in both of these pots, but Clovis knocked this one over, and when I picked it up, one of them was doing really bad, and then the other one I just ended up putting down here and then taking the pot, and then I put some blocks back here so she couldn't use that as a tunnel anymore. This is the Blinky babies. They are coming along really good. My plan for these is the Blinky babies will run out this way, and then this is my early something watermelons, they'll run out this way. That's the plan. Will I keep it that way? Probably not, but I'm gonna attempt to keep stuff, you know, fairly decent, maybe. Once everything starts growing, it kind of, sometimes I lose control. This one I need to just chuck out because he's not doing good, and you know, this one is. So this is a black strawberry tomato, and then this is just a Cherokee Tom. I started these a little later, just for funsies in the hydro garden, so we got those there. And then here is some more of those orange hat tomatoes. I need to get these in different planters as well, because this is like 4 plants here. My plan with these is just to let them grow as big as they'll get, and then if it's an overabundance, which I'm sure it's going to be, I will gift them to people that I know enjoys tomatoes. I thought that would be cute and fun, so if they live, fingers crossed. So I got these, and then I think the dog set off the camera. And then this is a raspberry bush. I told you that we're cutting down all the trees up here, and that is the only bush that survived that me and Wendy planted last year, and I couldn't let it die. We've been over this. So I went ahead and just got it and put it in a pot, and then we're going to find a better place for it and plant it in a permanent spot. And this is just some tomatoes that I don't know what they are, because when the greenhouse, you know, done all that, the tomatoes and everything got mixed up. Another tomato that I don't know what is. And these are the tomatoes I bought at Kroger, and they're starting to ripen up, and I'm so excited about that. Clovis! Oh, I see her. She's on the porch. Our cucumber bed. I done this completely by myself. I'm so proud. That's why it looks kind of janky. Even this was like tomato cages from last year, and I just unrolled them and rigged them up there, and John came out here, and I thought he would hate it because John is a perfectionist to the T, and he didn't complain about it. He straightened it up for me some a little bit because it was bowing, and he straightened it up. But other than that, I done all of it myself, and I seen it, you know, I mean, I was showing him, I was just joking. I said, isn't it nice? And he said, yeah. He said, it's actually a good idea. So I was proud of myself. But this is so that the cucumbers can trellis up them. I've never done that before with them. I had last year, we just put a tomato cage around them, which not tomato cage, but you know, because it was a cucumber cage. So that's what they look like. Hopefully animals stay out of it. If not, John told me I could just run some chicken wire around it. So hopefully though, I don't have to do that, because I prefer it to just be open. Or very beautiful, very chaotic, but it fits our life. Snap peas, which have got huge since I showed them like 3 or 4 days ago. So, and if you look, it is really producing now, and I'm super excited about that. Next year or next batch, if these die off fairly quickly, and I know they're not going to produce anymore, I want to cut them back and add some more, but I'm going to do a different kind of trellis. I just done that because there was nothing out here pretty, so I put that in there. I'll take that out and do it something else, to put it somewhere else. But I'm wanting to build in one of the things that's like little 3 prongs like this, and then it's got the pieces on it. I think I'm going to do that next time I do sugar snap peas, because I'm just not a fan of this. And then they get that tall, and they're like, where are we supposed to go now? So we really like sugar snap peas. I might just do part of a bed next year and trellis it like that. That could be a good idea as well. And then the strawberries that are a hot mess, that I'm trying to decide next year if I want to grow this same kind, or if we want to do something better. These are the ever-bearing, so they will, you know, they bear until frost and they die, but they're super tiny. I'm thinking next year I want to do the ones that just get ripe in June and you get an abundance at once. John is more on the line of wanting these, and I'm more on the line of wanting the kind that just grow in June. So I don't know, we'll see. But that's the strawberry bed that is super abundant, but it is what it is. It's grew a lot this year, and I don't know what I'm doing. Well, we're gonna do it anyway. So, and then that's our huge line of sunflowers. Some of them are much bigger, as you can see. That is because those have came from like where I planted hay. I mean, where I put hay, that the goats had ate. They really like sunflowers. Okay, so you can guess where those came from. And I couldn't kill them. We've been over this. So they are just growing up through here. I would pluck them out of the garden once I realized what they was and put them here, just kind of down the row. But then I went through and just put a lot more seeds. I planted, these are black oil sunflowers, the little ones. Well, I guess probably all of them. And that is what the goats and chickens eat. So, you know, if I can get a harvest of them, I can save them and feed them to the chickens. Will it be a year's worth for them? Definitely not. But any that I can grow on my own is money saved plus happiness earned, because I love sunflowers and any flower. This, however, I did know what it was. I forgot, but I thought it was just a funny shaped sunflower because it had a wonky leaf on it right here. But you know what? It's not a sunflower. So, but she's gonna live here, live her life out here in the sunflower, because why not? And that dog is crazy. She's crazy. Everything is so wet this morning, like worse than I'd expect. I think it was pretty cool last night, and maybe it being pretty cool last night and then it warming up quite a bit more today. Like it's already pretty warm out here. Ew. And the sun is shining. I think maybe that is making everything super wet, and she knocked it on my legs and it's wet and cold. But I think this video is just going to be a garden tour because, well, I talked a lot. I'm gonna go in, get the bread going, and then I gotta come out and do this whatever I said earlier. Move some plants around and plant some carrots. So, alright friends, and I had recorded a lot this day, so I figured I would go ahead and break it down into 2 videos. I know you all enjoy the longer videos, however, they don't do as good, and so it's just not worth the work. I'm sorry, but it's not. And this is going to be almost a 30-minute video anyway, so, you know, it is longer than my shorter ones have been. But we're just going to go ahead and get the bread made, and then we're going to cut it off, and we will come back on Wednesday for the part 2 from this day when we get everything else done that we planned on doing. This is the bread recipe that we always follow, the milk and honey recipe from Tamra over at Southern Life Everyday Life. So it's our favorite. We absolutely love it. It's the best bread. Hope that you enjoyed our garden tour. We will see you all again next time. As always, remember to show grace, be content, and live blessed. Love y'all.